My favorite ones are skinwalkers / goatman women / wendigos. Couple years ago, hunting out in the US-Canada border. Me, 4 Marines, and 2 girls, altogether 7. It's snowing a little bit, so we decide to go back in the cabin. In the middle of nowhere, and the temperatures are dropping. Put on the fire, and everyone just huddles together and plays random board games and cook up some fresh deer. Go outside, to the outhouse and take a shit. Get done, and then smell the smell I've read about from X. That blood, copper, rust smell. Oh fuck. Pull out rifle, and it's fucking pitch black, except for the cabin, and it's quiet. Cabin is a couple yards away, and the smell is getting stronger. Fucking terrified beyond my mind, and then it hits me. Not too far out, hear a broken woman-like voice scream out, "Help!" Nope. Friends come out and ask what the hell. Wait, what is that smell? 2 people actually throw up, and I'm just telling everyone to get back in and close all the windows and block it all off and wait till sunrise. Anon, what's wrong? Someone's out there. No, trust me, it's not a person. We're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody could be this far out. It's not fucking possible, and it's almost below freezing outside. Confused and shocked, I explained what it is, and all everyone does is laugh. The smell is getting worse and worse. One of the girls passes out, and one of my Marine buds gets out of there. Okay, what the fuck is that smell? What's out there? I don't believe in no fucking goatman or wendigo. I'm a fucking devil dog. He goes out there, and next thing I know, he screams at the top of his lungs and fires off 3 shots, followed by what sounded like a fox scream, but it sounded like a person too. He turns back and his face is fucking pale, and he pissed himself. Tommy, what's wrong? What did you see? He just balled up, calling for his mom. Nope, 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 nope. We all just huddle up, close all the windows and just sit there in the pitch black room. For the next couple of hours, all we hear is screams and hyena-like laughter, and what sounds like someone running around in circles out there. Nobody can sleep. Everyone just has their eyes on the front door. Girl is still passed out, and Tommy is still petrified. Other girl is crying and begging to go home, and practically pisses herself. Finally, about 4 AM it stops snowing, and the screaming and hollering and laughing stops. Smell is gone. Is it safe? I think it's gone. Yeah, I'm not moving till the sun comes up or out. Yeah, same here. Me too. Fine. I'll go outside and look. Still pitch black, but I use my flashlight to look around. See some reddish blood on the floor, going in the eastern direction. Can hear some birds chirping, so that's a good sign. As I'm walking back to the cabin to give the all clear, it goes quiet again. Fuck. Way in the distance, hear someone say, "Hello!" Nope, nope, nope. Can hear brush being broke coming in my direction. Cocksucker, eat 3006. Unload my mag on the direction and it goes quiet. My hairs just stand up and body goes cold. Anon, get inside! We can hear groaning in the distance. It stays like that until the sun comes out and the clouds cleared, which was 11 AM when the sun came out and the clouds were gone. Tommy finally snaps out of it and the girl wakes up, completely scared out of our mind. We just weapons free the entire walk back. We try to ask Tommy what he saw, and he just says, "I thought an Iraqi screaming running towards me with a bomb was scary." We get to the halfway point, where you start to see campers and hikers, where people become a regular occurrence to see, which took about 3 hours worth of hiking. Some people just stare at us like we've seen a ghost or something. As we're walking, I can faintly smell the copper smell again. No fucking way it would come out this far. Look around and scan my surroundings to see where it seems anything is out of the ordinary. Some people take notice to the faint smell, but assume it's a rotten dead animal or fungus. Friends can smell it too, and they just run out there back to their cars. I'm just standing there, looking around. Where the fuck is it? I use my scope and just scan the entire hillside. Notice a little girl walking on the cliffside. She's just skipping around. I watch her for a couple of seconds and she just stops and turns to me and stares right at me, just staring and looking at me. Can almost taste the smell now. Some people ask where I'm aiming at. Nothing. Thought it was a bear. Take one last look and she just stares and walks back into the direction me and my friends came from. Pick someone related. It looked like her. Went back to the cabin a couple times again after that. Nothing happened. Tried to hunt it and it never came back. Would go on X and apparently it travels around the world, or there's more than one that constantly wanders. Planning on going back again this year with a GoPro to see if I can catch it. That night, I will never forget those screams. They're far too difficult to forget. To this day, Tommy still hasn't told us what he saw, and he hates talking about it. He barely talks to any of us anymore. Be me. Just starting lurking on K. Really want to go in the woods. Recently got my FID. SKS for my birthday. Fuck yeah. Invite my only has-guns friend along to go camping near Appalachian Trail. He says yes. Bring a Winchester, lever action, .30-30. Follow the trail south for 3 days. We brought plenty of food and fuel. Not much water, as we plan to be near rivers most of the time. Buddy brought a harmonica. From now on I'll call him John. We get dropped off near where we want to start hiking. Covering pretty decent ground for the first few hours. Slowed down a bit after a quick lunch, still moving along pretty well. We stop for the night, set up our tent. I start the fire, boil water we collected. John cooks up some of our food, plays harmonica a bit. We're just sitting around the fire, talking. Brings up the fact that we haven't seen anyone all day. He shrugs it off. It's a bit of shitty weather and cold, so it's not that strange. Put out the fire and we go to bed, sleeping with unloaded rifles. We get up the next day, strike camp, eat cold breakfast and start hiking again. Suddenly, we hear loud footsteps coming up the trail behind us, running really fast. We look behind us. Figure it's a trail runner or a deer running from something. Ready rifles just in case. The second we turn around, the sound stops. We're a little weirded out, but continue along for a bit. I realize that the woods are quiet as fuck ever since we heard the running. Mention it to John. Relax man, it's almost winter. Most things are probably just hiding away or in their burrows. Decide I'm just being a pussy. Ignore the silence. We stop for a lunch near a stream and John collects a bit of water from it. Sniffs at it to make sure it's semi-clean. Recoils. What the fuck? Anon, smell this water. Wary that he's gonna splash me in the face. I take it and smell it. Oh god, this is awful, .gif. Smells like rotten meat and piss. We follow the stream upriver to see if a dead deer or bear fell in and is rotting away in it. After a few minutes of walking, we come to a cave that the stream is flowing out of. John walks in right away. Hey John, wait a minute, we shouldn't. Oh, come on Anon. I've got a flashlight and I'm not gonna fall in, so let's just check it out. Okay, I guess. Grab my own flashlight and my SKS. Follow John into the cave. We come to a huge ass cliff where the water falls down. Not really a waterfall, but whatever. It's smooth as hell, made of this really shiny black rock. Alright John, looks like we can't go any further. Let's go back. Okay Anon, just let me look over here. I thought I saw, aha. Look at this man. The staircase cut into the side of the cliff. Barely visible unless you look straight at it. John immediately starts climbing up. I follow him, but I'm just about shitting my pants. We're about halfway up there when suddenly we hear this voice. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Just repeating the same thing over and over, in the exact same tone of voice, exact same inflection. It sounded like a broken record. The voice was creepy as fuck. It sounded like a human voice coming through a fucked up speaker, crackly at the edges and sort of deeper than it should be. Obviously feminine. It's coming from the top of the cliff. John shouts up to it. Don't worry, we're coming for you. Just hold on. John, wait a goddamn minute. What the fuck, Anon? Are you just gonna walk away from somebody who might be stranded or hurt? No, I don't think that. Then let's fucking go. He double times it up the stairs, rifle slung over his shoulder. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Voice gradually getting louder and more distorted. He's going a lot faster than I am. That's what saves me. He gets to the top of the stairs, shines flashlight towards the sound. Ma'am, are you? Suddenly stops talking. I'm just a flight below the top. I can hear him walking. Sounds really jerky, but steady, like a metronome or something. Steps suddenly stop. At the exact same time the voice stops yelling for help, I just barely hear John whisper, "Of course, whatever you need." Crunching noise, sound of dripping liquid. Help me, help me, help me, help me. It's a different voice. It takes me a second to recognize it. It's John's voice. Oh shit, .mp3. Fucking sprint out of there. It's a miracle I didn't break my neck on those fucking steps. Managed to contact a friend who was gonna pick us up in 2 days. Tell him something got John, freaking out. He calls the cops/forest department. Tells me I have to meet him near the ranger station at a small town. I managed to get out of the woods, meet up with the cops. I claim a bear ate him. Lots of questioning. Realize they think I might have murdered him. Finally break down and told this old grizzled ranger dude what really happened when we were alone. He just nods. There's some strange things that happen up in those mountains. Might be I'll head up there soon and take care of it. What the fuck? Is this guy serious? He smiles at me and nods toward the wall of his office at the ranger station. A bunch of mounted skulls. They look like fucked up deer / moose / goat heads. Curvy horns, long jawbones, huge ass eye sockets. Now I'm gonna go kill that bear of yours. I'm sure them city boys know that you didn't do nothing. I'm sorry about that friend of yours. Good hunting. Thank you kindly. I still can't get over it, especially since about 2 weeks after that, the paper printed a story about an individual who wished to remain nameless that had taken down a rabid grizzly not too far off the Appalachian Trail. Evening K. I've always enjoyed Too Spooky Innawoods threads, so I thought I'd start one. The story is pretty long, so I'll use a trip to post it, then go back to being anon. Be in high school. Be mid-2000s. Moved to Utah to work for an electrician for the summer. Hot as fuck. Always did bitch work because low, youngest worker, but paid decent. Good hours and was kinda fun. Every day after work would hang out with female cousin A and her boyfriend D and their friends. One friend, J, was Native American. Lived on res nearby. Nice guy. Majorly superstitious though. One evening, we're in the front room telling ghost stories and shit. Jay starts telling a local legend about a skinwalker. Poor young naive me knew nothing about them. According to the local legend, some tribesmen long ago fucked up and got cursed. Must walk earth until he redeems himself. Of course, is pissed about this. He's nobody, so possesses other living things. Anyway, out in the area, there was an old farm near the res that always had weird shit happen on it. Crops failed for no reason, residents see and hear shit, a barn burned down right after being built, accidents constantly. Creepiest thing was the cattle. They disappear, reappear a day or so later, full of holes like Swiss cheese, or drained of blood with no wounds, eyes or organs or whatever removed with surgical precision. People refused to stay for long. Land ownership changed hands every few years. Government eventually bought it, fenced it off, set up sensors and such. Think Area 51, but less aliens and more fry sauce. People on the res always knew if something happened there because the whole damn place would light up like a Christmas tree. Alarms and sirens and shit too. So Jay tells us about this, and we're all young and stupid, and tell him he must take us out there. To get on the res, you have to be a Ute, or have one sign you on. He of course says fuck no. His grandpa told him to stay away from there like the plague. We badger him, promise it'll be quick. Just a look and then we'll leave. Eventually, he relents. Sun is set back by the time we left, so I grab a flashlight on the way out. Also grab 30-30 off a rack. A freaks out. What are you gonna do? Shoot a skinwalker? If I have to. And I'll get its head mounted afterward, you stupid fuck. Leave me alone. We get there. It was like a 30-minute drive. A and D acting all antsy the whole time, so Jay is on edge. Tells us to stay close and stay quiet and do what he says. We park the Wrangler on the side of the road and hop a cattle fence. Walk across a field and through some woods. Thanks to A's insistent bitching, I left the rifle in the Jeep. It was against my better judgment, but what can you do? It's quiet as fuck as we head toward the farm. You know, the type of quiet that roars like a jet engine. I start feeling like someone is whispering to me from far away, and it's carried to me on the wind. Creepcon level rise from weird to definitely unsettling. A and D both absorbed into their phones. Dumb shit's too distracted. But Jay still looked somewhere between wary and scared. Kept stopping us and listening and looking before continuing. We clear the woods and reach another field. Halfway across, Jay stops and turns around, refuses to go any further. I walk up to him, pat him on the shoulder, and tell him it's alright. Reach him, and holy shit. It's like I stepped out of a sauna into Antarctica. Suddenly cold. A feeling washes over me. Can only be described as unwanted. Seriously, like my mama had told me to go away and never return. Felt like crying, felt dejected, and just as suddenly, it was gone. The looks on everyone's faces said they felt it too. Creepcon level now at Too Spooky. Jay says we go back. Us dumb shit white teenagers stay forward. D wants to look tough for A. A would follow him anywhere. I'm just an idiot. Jay again relents. In retrospect, I wish he had more spine. We finish crossing the field. Hit the 3-tree line, a chain link fence is within view. The second I crossed the line, feelings of anger and rejection stab me like a sack of bricks. Think back to when you were a kid and just got punished for something you didn't do, that sort of feeling. Rage against someone else with no outlet. And then it's gone. and I'm with the fucking heart. None of us are moving. Take a few steps forward and boom, more emotions. Fear and hatred. So hard it was bitter in my mouth like dried blood. And it's gone. Jay is flipping out, whimpering, saying that something was very, very wrong and we need to leave. A and D agree. I do too, but tell them to wait 1 second. You see, as far as I can tell, I was a masochist, but without the pleasure part. I pushed forward and reached the fence. Disappointing, really. Tall fence without barbed wire, not electrified. A few small buildings and a bunch of stadium lights and shit like that. Just barren and boring. And I'm so overcome by the meh of it all, I just turn around and walk away. Walk up to them and tell them we're good to go. They didn't miss anything. And Jay's all, finally. We start heading back to the tree line across the field, where I felt abandoned, and again on the border, we all stopped. But this was unplanned. We just all did in unison, without reason. It's quiet. Still. Unnaturally so. My hackles are up. Moving my head felt impossible. Air was physically hard. Like a solid. Seriously, that shit was harder than nipples of a blind lesbian walking through a fish market. Could feel it pressing against my cheek like a board. To my right, something moves, and there it was. A ball of fucking light. Hand to God. It was about the size of a basketball. Fairly bright, but didn't hurt to look at. Floated at about waist height. I'm staring at it and starts getting brighter until I have to squint. But then I look away and it goes back to normal. This sounds super gay, but I could only describe it as a ball of emotions. It pulsed 4 times, once for each of us I think. Ball flies off to my left. Stood there for forever, or a few seconds. Maybe both. We collectively shit our pants as the alarms start going off behind us. Lights all over the farm. I look over my shoulder and was blinded. Instantly, that's how bright it was. CreepCon levels now at nope. Abort, abort, abort. We're hauling ass across the field. I can't see shit. Nearly twist my ankle, so I bust out my flashlight, which kind of helps. When I passed the strip where the ball flew by, no joke, I swear the grass has electrostatic charge. I got zapped a pretty good few times. My feet probably touched the ground 3 times. I'm a goddamn blur. We reach and hop the fence, like Special Olympians. I'm first to the Jeep, snatch my 30-30 lever action. Seemed like the thing to do at the time. Cut me a break, pile into the Wrangler, and wing it out of there like a cherry red hardtop bat out of glowing bat hell. Completely silent the whole ride. Get back to the house. We're all in the front room and can't sleep. No one says a word about the rifle, which remained by my side all night, except for A to ask me if I was a good shot. I'm from Texas. My hillbilly self was born and raised with one of these things in my hand. I can hold my own, thank you very much. No way we're doing any more driving that night, and numbers equal safety. Right guys? Guys? Sun rises and we all feel silly. Recount the story until it feels like a dream. Jay goes out to his Wrangler and drives home after breakfast. Battery's fucking dead. Won't recharge. Our phones are all dead despite being on their cords all night. My watch is dead. Flashlight's new batteries that I just put in before we left were dead. Devices and Jeep fine. We just had to buy new batteries for all of them. To this day, cannot go in the woods for any reason without a weapon, and preferably an operator bro with a weapon. A commando fucks something spooky. Be me, 21-year-old. My one popular black friend invites me to some Innawoods rave. He's the drug dealer of our dorm. Carrying Gramps 1911 because I thought some guy high on PCP would try to kill me. Also K, 3 spoopy 5 me threads. Middle of the night, full moon. Everyone but me is at least doing weed. I brought Stolichnaya because Muslavness, but I never drank any of it. I look around for someone to talk because everyone else is higher than the plane and listening to shitty rap. Minute later, see a girl that looks pretty sober, sitting on a log near the edge of the camp. Brunette, kind of French looking. 7 out of 10, would still bang though. Weird as fuck clothing, like we traveled back to the 60s. Whatever, go to sit by her. She's incredibly socially awkward, like 10 times worse than me. She also has a really thick French accent. Talk about where she's from. She's from Quebec. Start talking to her in French. I'm pretty good at it, by the way. She asks what my address is. I tell her the full address because my penis is starting to do the talking. When I tell her that, she does this thing where she cracks her neck by rolling about. Don't really think anything of it because I have OCD and do that sometimes. She asks me if I want to come in the woods and kiss her. Being a kissless virgin at that point, I'm okay with this. Lead me a mile in the woods. Get that coppery smell like in chemistry class, melting magnesium in acid water. Only sound nearby is waterfall. Weird and kind of annoying because of my tinnitus. Start kissing. Really awkward. I pull away. She asks me what's wrong. I tell her it's nothing. She tells me she can be anything you want. At this point, I think she's trans. I think in my mind for a millisecond, how much better it would have been if I were fucking this 10 out of 10 Ukrainian I found a picture of somewhere. Say, no thank you, and walk back to camp. I hear, wait, in this cute little Russian accent. I turn around, and it's exactly what I thought of. Very fucking related. Now, at DEFCON 1, reach down and touch my 1911. Dick is 2000% erect though. My dick convinces me that this might actually be worth dying for. My brain actually agrees. Have the best sex of my entire life. Nothing has been able to come close to that. Snuggle in the leaves for like half an hour and just talk about drugs and Russian music. She says she has to leave and just walks across the stream butt-ass naked. I just murmured, okay. I look for my clothes, but as I put on my clothes I notice that her clothes and my 1911 have just vanished. Fuck. Walk back to camp. Use the belt method to CC my boner. Stare into the fire the entire night wondering what the fuck just happened. Wake up the next morning. Best friend asked me what happened after I went into the woods with the girl. Basically, tell her everything before it shapeshifted. Doesn't believe me. That's good. Buy an airship 1911 until I could get another real one to try to fool my mom. The Happening Part 2. A week later. Still can't get my mind off what happened. A few nights I had nightmares that became way too spooky for me. At home, my mom goes to AC for a job-related award. Listening to Berlin. Ear knock on door. Figure it's the pizza guy. It's the girl. She says politely, "Hey, it's Katusha. Do you remember me from last weekend?" Decide it's best not to tempt fate a second time. Slam the door. Dynamically nope the fuck up to the attic. Burn some printer paper. Smother some .30-06 rounds in the ash. Load my Gramps M1. Stay in the attic the entire night, cradling my M1. What exactly did I see here? It doesn't really match anything I've heard about, before or since. I'm now pissed at myself for noping the fuck out of there. Every girl I've ever met after that, I've ended up hating. I'm seriously debating going back to those woods and looking for it. And I want Gramps 1911 back. Also, I wasn't wearing a condom when I fucked it. Does that mean anything?